might be.
Yep. This is Carl. Y'all watching? Oh, no, it's not. It's a lady.
Y'all should act like y'all like each other though. Like, why is so much space in here?
I agree. Can we fill in? Can we fill in? Can we come closer, guys? If you don't mind.
Oh, you got it.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
My name is Leslie Black,
And I am Charlotte Salton. And we are the Cinnamon Dolls, and we're getting ready to host.
thank you.
Well, we want to welcome you all to the Cast Me If You Can panel. So over the next hour, we'll explore how actors can navigate this industry from starting out to mastering auditions and building longevity in their careers. Charlotte Salter is going to introduce you to our esteemed panelists.
We have the lovely Adrienne Allen, celebrity, Dominique Nicole, actress, health and wellness expert, Angela Davis, acting coach and actress, and we have Barbara Dickerson, talent agent, and Leslie Green, casting extraordinaire.
Y'all need to tell them people out in the hallway to come on in here. What they doing?
I'm gonna get them.
Go get them, Belle. Go get them. I'll go get them. Open that door. Hey, y'all. Come in here. Pull up on us.
Hey, just don't hit my seat. Don't hit my
Because
seat.
the value here,
Right.
you got agents, managers, coaches, like, you got the whole thing.
That's why y'all paid y'all money, right? Y'all want to know what you got? Why y'all pay? Yeah, I'm playing real talk. Why y'all pay? Or why you take that free pass? However you here, you know what I mean? Like, whether it's free or not. Cause I get it. So however y'all got here, you came because you wanted to learn something, right? Yeah. So why y'all in the hallway? Fair observation, right?
Come on, baby.
Come on in. Even if your ticket was free, come on in. Not a talk. Welcome. Come on in the room. Hey, come on in the room. Oh no, but yeah, she was sitting there before. So, this question, I guess will be for either five of y'all. But for someone who is brand new,
I got something. Come on.
Wait, they coming on in. They coming on in. It's like the price is right. Come on down.
Let's go.
Come on, Hershey.
What's up? We gonna get him a foot.
Welcome.
Making stuff happen.
Welcome.
If you guys are just joining us, again, we'd like to welcome to the Cast Me If You Can panel. We are excited to have you, and we can't wait for you guys to listen to all the good stuff our esteemed guests have to say. So, question number 1. For someone brand new to acting, what's the very first step you'd recommend?
Training.
Did everybody hear that? Training.
I would say when you first land the thought or even just a breath of wanting to act, just go get into an acting class first and just to have an experience and see if you really enjoy it, because it's a big investment and you don't want to start investing in a whole lot of things when you really are not sticking with it. So get into an acting class and just give it a try and have fun and see what you feel in your heart.
I love that. And would you like to piggyback on that, Angela? I had an opportunity of working with you, and I think you're absolutely magnificent.
Yes, I want to echo what she's saying. And then I think there needs to be a fundamental question. And we've seen this sort of on social media. Don Cheadle did a whole thing on this in an interview, and he said, do you want to be an actor or do you want to be famous? And I think those are two totally different things, especially in today's environment. Because there are a lot of people who are in front of the camera who are not actors, even though they're put in front of the cameras. So the question really is, do you want to be an actor or do you want to be famous? There are a lot of really good actors who are not necessarily famous, right? They are working actors, they make a lot of money, you probably see them on everything, and you go, I don't know that guy's name, but I see him everywhere, right? We call those working actors, right? Of the actors in the industry, and Barbara can attest to this even from, she used to be a casting director, so she knows this, only about 2%, and probably less now, of working actors in the industry make enough money to do this solely, to only act and make enough money to live comfortably, right? The other 98, and I'm gonna say 98.5% of actors are what we call rank and file. And they work every day and they probably have other jobs to sustain them. So when you say that you wanna be an actor, the question should go deeper. Do you want to be an actor? Do you want to be famous? Do you really enjoy storytelling? Do you enjoy the art and the craft of acting? Because if you do, then you'll do it. You'll go to class, you'll get into plays, you'll create your own content. Whether or not you get famous, you will still do it. If you don't have that ache, then you should probably get a TikTok account, try to go viral and go that route. Because you are going to take up space in class and you're going to get in other people's way. Okay, so this really is an investment. It is an investment of time. Being an actor is a huge investment in money. It is an investment in your personal self-esteem and your confidence. It's an investment in your time away from your family, how you plan. It's an investment into your physicality, and I mean by that, you know, your physical self. It's an investment into your mental self. So this is bigger than just, hey, I want to get an Academy Award, hey, I want to be a name on the street. That's the question. And the first thing you are going to need is craft. And you need to get an acting class. You don't need an agent because you don't have anything that they can sell. You don't need a casting director because you don't have anything they can cast. You need craft. You need to learn it. There's nobody in here that would go, you know, I've played the game Operation, and I've been to the doctor several times throughout my entire life. I could be a physician. I can do that. I could be a doctor. I can deliver babies, right? I can deliver babies. I know how it works. I'm a female. I got a uterus. I can deliver a baby. Nobody in their right mind would go, hey, Angela, great, yes, you're a female. I'm gonna let you be my OBGYN. You have a beating heart, I'm gonna let you be my cardiologist, right? Because you expect a level of training. You expect a level of educational investment, skill, time. You expect that for me to perform at a high level. Acting is no different. And if you want to excel and have longevity in this career and sustainability at high levels, you need craft that you can fall back on that is going to sustain you to have that longevity in this industry?
I'd just like to say on top of that, because I represent people, a lot of people will get an agent and then they stop training. It makes me crazy because I'll check in with my talent and so what have you been doing? Oh, well, I have you now. That's not it. We're doing a drop and it's all the people that aren't working at the craft. You've got to keep working at it.
I agree.
Hello. I'm gonna say one thing, just to add a little thing to this. If you are not passionate about this thing, when you do your self-tape, I can tell. And I would just leave it right there because we already talked a lot about this question, but it shows in your self-tape.
Okay. So when actors start working, they're getting all these gigs and they're booking. At what point in their career, agent, do you think is a good time for people to secure a publicist? Her mic louder than yours.
And you're right. Oh, no, you're not. Right.
So thank you for that. Because there are always tons of conversations surrounding PR and publicity, and a lot of that is because people don't know what PR is, how PR works, the value in PR, and of course, when to do it. And so one of the easiest ways to answer that question is when you have exhausted everything that you can do by yourself, it's time to incorporate a publicist. However, there are also times when you are building or you have a presence that you need a publicist because right now you're an influencer and you feel like, oh my God, I'm killing it because everybody knows me, I have 1 million followers. But what about when Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, Etsy, what about when they all go down? What if the only way somebody can find you on Google is when they Google and the Instagram comes up and they go to click the link and it's not there? Where's your digital footprint outside of social media? How do people know who you are? Like when they see you on social media and they see all these 1 million followers, you have a coordinated presence that you are creating for social media. However, who are you outside of that social media persona? What causes do you invest in? What do you like to do outside of making people laugh or telling people whatever it is that you want to tell them on social media? And I get it, PR is an investment. It's a quiet investment because it's not like marketing, it's not like social media ads where, I give them $500 and I know what I'm going to get back for my $500. No, PR is an investment. PR is an investment in yourself, an investment in growing and building my brand into something that is solid. It's a foundation outside of that brand that you built online. And so, again, to answer the question again, there are several times that you know to incorporate a publicist. However, publicists and your publicist and publicity is just like a relationship with anybody else. Angela said it too. It's like you court your doctor, you court your therapist, you court your agent, you court these people the same way you need to court your publicist because your relationship is dependent on that relationship. If we don't get along, if I don't like you as a person, I can't like you as my publicist. If I don't like your brand, if I don't believe in what you're selling, I can't represent you. And I know that PR has gotten a bad name because people say that, I gave them $5,000 and, they took my money, or, like they wanted to be on the red carpet more than I was on the red carpet. There are all these horror stories. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I've heard every single one of them. And I know that they are true. And I know they're true because one or more parties didn't do their due diligence in that relationship building process. Whether it was me not knowing that that person, that brand was not taking it seriously, they just wanted, like a transactional relationship. I'm not transactional. I think, like the people in here that have only known me for about 15, 20 minutes, you can kind of gauge my personality, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
we knew what we had.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, if you like loud, if you don't like engaging, if you don't like authoritarian, like if you don't like somebody that's going to tell you how it is, then we're not the ones for each other. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, because PR, like as your publicist, I am responsible for you and who you are. You have to trust me enough to say, Adrienne got it. I don't have to worry about anybody saying nothing bad about me. I don't have to worry about nobody trying to scrub my name or say things about me that aren't true, because I trust Adrienne enough that she's got it. And if you don't trust me, or if I don't trust you, then it's a bad relationship, and that's okay. But when you want to incorporate PR, do your due diligence. Make sure that publicist is the person for you.
I just want to add to what you're saying, Adrienne. I do believe that when you actually have a book or some kind of content that actually gives you voice, it's really helpful for your PR, because now your voice and your brand, you get an opportunity to be authentic and speak about that, as well as the projects that you're on. So think about whatever content that you could build. I know some are writers. If you write a song, or if you have a book, I say book, but my first thing that I worked with was my jewelry line. And having that line gave me voice. Now I get to speak about who Dominique is. So think of that little, gold nugget when you get ready to develop that relationship.
Okay, the next question is, anyone can answer the question. Do reels matter? Do they still matter in today's world? And are casting directors relying more on social media? What are your thoughts on that?
Reels matter. Here I go. Is there someone else? Okay. Reels matter because on every breakdown service, and hopefully everyone has been on breakdown, because that is where you build your portfolio. So casting networks, Actors Access. Film and TV is Actors Access. You need a clip of a scene on there. Your agent can't submit you if you don't have a clip of a scene. So I suggest build a full reel, show your comedic and show your theatrical and your commercial, right? And build out clips so that they can see you in each one of those genres. Because when they're submitting you, they're selling you. And they have to actually want to book you off of the clip before they send you the audition. So you want to make sure that you really portray the roles that you want to go out for. And you need to look the part from head to toe. And your dialogue is important. And this is also an opportunity for you to write and produce, because you can write your own scene. And you can, build that content to start showing your work on social media. So when you also want to get an agent too, that's when it's important, right? Because when you get an agent, she's going to look at your theatrical and your commercial reel and say, do I even want to have a conversation with this person?
Well, also we will pitch people and we will send the reel, and you need to also, just like you need to look like your pictures, you need to look like the reel and not have a reel from 20 years ago when you used to do it and you just got in it and you thought. The other thing is some casting directors are only looking for people that have reels. I mean, it depends, all casting directors are different, but there's a lot that if people don't have reels, it's not even worth to submit.
Well, I would disagree. But here's why. Because I'm always looking for someone. Everybody doesn't have the same level of experience, and just because you don't have a reel doesn't mean that you have no experience. Now, you should get up on your business part of the industry to get that together, absolutely. But see, when I put out a side or when I'm looking, I want to see your audition tape. Because you could have had a great director in your reel, or you could have had a horrible director directing you in your reel. And sometimes it doesn't depict what you are and where you are now. So for me, I do look at reels, but I don't just stop there.
I would say, from a practical standpoint, a couple of points. One, you should create a good reel. Right, there's a lot of content out here, and most of it's really bad.
And the lighting sucks.
Let me say this. I'm just
Angela,
y'all, listen,
and the lighting
your
sucks.
sound sucks, your lighting sucks. It's bad. I told a woman recently who had posted her reel on Instagram, and all these people were like, "Girl, you ate that." And I was like, "No, ma'am." I said respectfully, this reel is not professional. It is not to industry standard. And nobody who works at high level would even look at this. As soon as your opening moment happened, they would have stopped. Because it shows that you are an amateur. I can tell that you're not represented. I can tell based on the setup of this reel that you're currently not in classes, and nobody's taught you how to do it, right? And I said to her, if you email me, I will give you pointers. She did. And I said respectfully, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but the people that are bigging you up on social media don't have enough of an eye in this industry to understand what industry standard is.
Yes.
So a lot of times people are putting things out on social media, and people are like, oh my God, this is so good. And nobody else in the industry is really saying that but your friends. Just because you put something together, you should put something good together. If you are not a writer, you cannot write your own scene. If you are not a producer, you cannot produce your own scene. And I am telling you, as an actor, you cannot, it is very hard to be in front of the camera and behind it at the same time. And even if you were, you don't have an objective eye. You don't have an objective eye. Because there is how you see yourself and there is how the world sees you. When casting casts you, they are seeing you from the outside in. You know yourself from the inside out. And often those two things don't meet. There is often a gap. So what actors tend to do when they put their reels together, they will often select roles and scenes, and Barbara knows exactly what I'm talking about. They will often select roles and scenes that they like. Ooh, I want to be the gangster. Ooh, I want to be the love interest. Ooh, I want to be the sexy so-and-so. Ooh, I want to be this. And then their agent sends them out for the weird neighbor, and they're pissed. And they're like, I don't know, Barbara, why aren't you sending me out? I want to be on BMF. And that's great for BMF, but you don't have a thug bone in your body. And there is nothing about your essence that reads strong, that gives the strength required for the role. So if you are going to build a reel, before you build a reel, you need to understand your type. That is the role you can play externally based on how you look, your race, your age, your ethnicity, your height, the way your eyes are set, how thick your lips are, how big you are, how skinny you are, how tall you are, right? All of those things impact type. We rarely ever see a 5-foot man, 90 pounds, playing a security guard. They all look like The Rock for a reason, because type says that if we are playing somebody who is an imposing figure, he physically has to be large. So casting is not looking for the 95-pound, 5-foot dude. They're looking for the dude 6'3", 250. That's type. Essence is how your type shows up, right? So if I look at this row of ladies right here, these three, right? Each of you could play a nurse. Type. It fits. But if I'm looking for the bold nurse, if I'm looking for the shy nurse, if I'm looking for the introspective nurse, if I'm looking for the apprehensive nurse, if I'm looking for the nurse who's resilient, who has gone through life and overcome something, now the audition digs a little deeper, and a good casting director is looking for that. Okay? So when we understand type and essence is how the world sees you. When casting says to you, hey, I just want you to be more grounded. Just, settle it, be you. What they're saying is be the version of you that I see. If you don't know how the world sees you, if you don't know what you present when you walk in the room, you're never going to be able to adjust for your type and your essence. Does that make sense? So as an actor, and these are things you should be learning in class, Type and essence are things that help you understand how this industry works, because that is how you are going to show up on camera. So while I love that you love everything that 50 Cent does, and I know that you love Power, and you love everything in the Power series, if you're mealy and type B and you're shy, and that's your essence, you're not gonna be the street thug dude. I know you love that, but that's not your lane. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every A-lister in here builds their career off of their strongest type and essence. Let me give you and you all know this. You intrinsically know this, even if you don't know it. Let me tell you how. When you think about Angelina Jolie versus oh God, what's her name? Friends. Jennifer Aniston. Okay.
Dang,
And I'm not talking about ability. I want you to hear me when I use these examples. I'm not talking about ability. I'm talking about essence and type. If I'm looking for the strong chick who gonna turn some tables, who gonna kick ass and take names, I'm going Angelina Jolie all day. But if I need the girl next door, who's the best friend, who's gonna have her feelings hurt, and she might triumph, but she's gonna go through something, I'm going Jennifer Aniston all day. While they both are equally talented, this is not about Jennifer Aniston's ability to play a strong character, because she does that in her way on the morning show. But type, in essence, says that if y'all cast her as somebody who is going to throw a punch, I would be like, y'all better quit playing with me. Y'all better quit playing with me. What are y'all doing? Not that she can't do it, it's just believability. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So type and essence. Okay, when we look at a show like Scandal, almost every A-list black female auditioned for the role to play Olivia Pope. But there are two things that are relevant about that role that needed to work. We needed to believe that she was strong, educated, black woman. Cool, got it. Regina King, Gabrielle Union, Taraji. Like, I got a whole list of people that could drop that. But we also had to believe that she is a woman that could be leveled by a white male, by just him breathing, just him walking in the room, it would level her. Taraji's out. Taraji's out. It's not about ability. I just have to believe that her personality would make her cower to a man like that. And there's nothing about her essence that drives that believability. Not that she can't do it. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's about type and essence. And there are things about Kerry Washington that just breathe that, and we go, oh, okay. Okay? So when we talk about building your own materials as an actor, I want you to always think about, what is my type? What are my strongest types? What is my essence? Because that is the lane that casting is going to drop you into, and these are the things that your agent is going to pitch. And when there are discrepancies, when your agent is pitching you for things that you don't get, you need to be having those conversations. How do you see me? What roles do you see me? And I coach a lot of actors who are not aware of their types. I'm like, do you know that you're quirky? You don't know that you're quirky and funny? No, I just be saying stuff. Okay, right? They don't get it. They're like, yeah, but I want a cake. That's great. But until they ask for the quirky drug dealer, you bring that energy. You're not even trying. You bring that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So type and essence matter. So if you're gonna build resumes, if you're gonna make clips, they better fall in line with your type, they better be true to your essence, and they better be of quality. Don't just throw stuff out there. And stop listening to the general public, because they have no idea what makes good in terms of content, in terms of storyline, in terms of character building and acting work. That's why the public don't vote on the Oscars and the Academy Awards and the Emmys. That's why. Because they were like, oh my God, it's not good. Sorry. So just be mindful of those things. Okay, that was a very long answer to a very short question, but.
Thank you. Yes. So our next question is, thank you. No, good Jules. No, really. One thing about Angela is she's gonna give you the truth. Like, I took her classes many years ago. She's my coach, and I appreciate it. Like, if you listen, she's gonna tell you like it is, and as an actor, you need to hear that. It makes you stronger. The next question is for anyone. we've had a shift in the industry that has affected everyone. For some of us, a shift that we've never seen. Do you have any advice on how to navigate the dailies with that?
This goes back to what I had mentioned previously about having a digital footprint outside of social media. So it's like you always need to be thinking ahead. Sometimes people say it's 10 steps, but it's like when you work in the industry, it need to be 20 steps ahead. Because it's just always, it ebbs and flows. And regardless of what position you're in, whether you're in front of the camera or behind the camera, you know that the industry is going to be shaky. And so you always need to have an opportunity for people to find you outside of social media. And so this is why I said it's important for people to know who you are, what you believe in, what you can talk about. Because you could be, although you're an actress, actor, casting agent, producer, director, there are also things that you can talk about outside of the industry. You don't have to be pigeonholed into only talking about entertainment. And so what you need to do when you leave here is start thinking about how can I build my presence around myself as the actor. Like I am Adrienne the actor, but I'm also Adrienne the writer. I'm Adrienne the photographer. I'm Adrienne the farmer. Like I'm Adrienne the herbalist. This would be a great opportunity for me to pitch my book. I do have a book, it's called The Great PR Heist, How Public Perception Stole the Idea of Public Relations. And that talks about how people think they know what PR is, but they really don't. And as Dominique said, it's like you need to have other things. Even if it's an ebook that you put out, like that ebook gives you a platform, it gives you something to talk about. Even if it's a guidebook, even if it's a digital download that people can download for free, there's still an opportunity for you to do some things that's going to position you, prepare you, and elevate you if the industry is not moving the way you need it to move. I know Leslie, you doing your houses, I know Charlotte, like y'all have things that you do that you always don't have to put entertainment at the forefront of your life. And so while that could be your passion, you also have a priority. And what is my priority? My priority is real estate. My priority is farming. My priority is being an author. So like create another lane for yourself so that when the industry isn't doing what you need it to do, you aren't stagnant.
That's the beauty of this industry to me. One of the things I always say, where you are today, you will not be next year. So what are you going to do between where you are today and next year? And this is why I don't discount anybody when it comes to acting. Because some people haven't had their moment, their opportunity, or the right acting coach, right? The right team. They haven't built the right team to help them. So for me, I love casting. And if I didn't have to get paid to do it, I would still do it. Because it's ministry to me. I love helping people, right? But I also wrote books to help people. I have a clothing line to motivate people, right? So it's not just what you see right here as a casting director. I'm a person. You all are people. So what are you going to do that's going to help you to build out who you are, to build your brand as you are training, right? So it's not just one thing, and this industry is so fluid. You gotta be ready for the pivot.
I would also add, if you're an actor, that covers the spread, right? So think about other things. You can create additional lanes of income. So I don't just do television and film and commercials. I also do hand modeling. I did a KFC commercial where I picked up a piece of chicken. You don't even know that's me on the billboard. That's my hand on the billboard. Okay. Right? So I do hand modeling. Great. I also do voiceover. I bought my house off voiceover. During the pandemic, when a lot of actors weren't working, I was in front of the mic all the time. I do a lot. I am the current female voice of Credit Karma. I was the voice of Target in 2022. I do a ton of voiceover. In fact, it outperformed my TV and film I've already made more money this year in voiceover than I've made in TV and film. It outperformed 10 times, and I work half as much, 20 minutes of work for $5,000, easily. Voiceover is a wonderful lane that actors don't consider. And some of this is just that you don't know what you don't know, right? It's not about ability, it's about access and awareness. And what happens with a lot of actors is that nobody tells you, hey, have you ever considered voiceover? Because you think you need a voice like this. Or you think you need a particular type of voice. No, we just need your voice, right? And there's a ton of opportunities there, right? Print modeling, talk to your agents about it. And I don't mean runway modeling. I mean like, hey, standing in the kitchen with your hands leaning on a beautiful island. I did some print work for Home Depot. And it was all about remodeling your house, right? So that kind of stuff, there are so many other lanes in this industry that you can get involved in. Hey, guess what? On sets, for all of you who are educators, who are actors and who are educators, they need people on sets with children because they have to work, they have to go to school. There's a SAG rule that says they can only work so much and then they have to go to school. So they have people on set who are with kids who make sure they go to school. There are people who are therapists. Hey, all my therapists, do you know that they have mental health professionals on sets now? Especially when they're dealing with subject matter that can be triggering. They have intimacy coordinators on set now for scenes that require intimacy. And so there are a lot of other areas and a lot of other lanes that may be available to you that you just don't even know about, even in the industry. So I just wanted to echo that on top of all of the other things that you guys are doing. I too wrote a book, an ebook, and it's called Thriving in the Quiet Seasons. And it's a book that guides actors on how to navigate slow times in TV and film. And we don't know what to do when the industry stops. But I can also tell you that these ebbs and flows are natural and normal.
I want to add to what you're saying, Angela, because what happened for me was national commercials. And the commercial work just came. As the film and TV, it doesn't come all the time. You can go like months and years without booking something with film and TV. But commercials pay really fast. And it's just like voiceover. You know, you're gonna need a reel. You're gonna need to build those things. And the money comes quicker. So that's always something to do. But my number one thing is don't stop. Don't stop training. Just don't stop. And I do believe in people creating their own material because you can go to a studio and they will help you. I live in LA, but in LA there's Jig Reel Studios. There's Relentless Studios, and these people will help you write your scene. They will help you film it. They'll bring the whole crew for you. You know what I mean? And even if you have to just do one thing at a time. And I do urge you as well, get familiar with Actors Access. Get familiar with casting networks. Those breakdown services are platforms that you gotta understand inside and out. Because with self-tapes and everything, you are everything. You become your own editor, you become your own videographer, you become it all. And so getting familiar with those platforms is so important. So right now when people use this word, it bothers me when they say I'm bored. There is way too much out here for us to learn and do. And in this industry, there's so many dimensions, you know, and as an actress, I always wanted to direct, but I never had the opportunity and I didn't really understand how to do it. You know, how would I get that opportunity? So I was talking to DJ Hershey yesterday about this, but I literally start saying, what's that? You know, and that's how I started learning. What is this? Why is the red camera connected to the sound that way? And why did this person do it different? And so I started asking questions, you know, and then the director started inviting me to sit with them. And so I got to see it from their perspective. And so I'm just starting to direct, but I'm in the beginning of that, but it's only because I took the initiative to ask them, can I sit and watch? Can I do this? So I just say, don't stop, y'all. And don't be afraid to try. okay? Because sometimes it can be so intimidating because there is so much. Take a baby step tonight. Go to Actors Access. Go to casting networks. Look at the platform. See how much it costs. Because it's expensive, like I said, to continue to build your portfolio. So I just want to urge you from my heart to yours, just keep going.
I want to, before we move past, this is not specifically through that to that question, but Leslie said something that's very important that I wanted to piggyback off of, and that is your team. Your team your team will make or break you. And I mean, when I say team, I mean every person on your team. Manager, agent, publicist, accountant, assistant. Like everybody on your team is a make or break position. And we see a lot of people, when you see celebrities who their accountant stole $1 million from them, their agent was taking things off the top, their publicist didn't clear something that they said incorrectly online. Your team is your voice, and a lot of people will hire people, or they bring their cousin on, or they put their mama on, and you're taking people with you and you want them to build with you. Everybody can't go with you. And when you put somebody on your team, you are giving them your voice. And so whatever they do is a direct reflection of you. You can't just be like, oh, well, my manager did. No, your manager is you. You can't just say my publicist did. Your publicist is you. And so when you are creating a team and building a team, you need to make sure that that person is the person that needs to be on your team. Because whatever they do in the name of you is going to be on you. So I just wanted to make sure when Leslie said that I really highlighted that for you.
We're going to ask one more question, and then we're going to allow you guys to ask questions. But this question is for each one of you. I want you all to answer it in your own individual way. What is the right way for people to approach someone who needs acting classes? Approach a casting director, approach a talent agent, approach an actress, what's the right way? Because, you know, remember when the girl did the whole Billboard thing, Tyler Perry, she kind of got knocked down a little bit. He was like, you out of order. I mean, it did end up working out for her. Did you? Yes! it did end up working out for her, thank God. What is the right way is it okay for somebody to DM you? Are they out of order for that? What is the right way? Because we're at a networking event, and a lot of people have anxiety around approaching people, or should a manager come to you? Should a talent agent come to you? But is it okay for somebody to walk up to you and just, you know, do you prefer? What's the advice you guys would give everyone?
As an actor, if you are looking to come to my studio's in Marietta, right, Windy Hill, Cop Parkway area. And so you can just go to the website, actor.com, A-C-T-H-E-R, actor.com. That's our website. You can sign up. We do a free audit. It's a free working audit. So you're not just going to sit in class. You're going to do the work that we're doing in class. And then you get to decide if I'm the acting coach for you. I may not be, right? And if you have recommendations, I can say, oh, try these people out if you're looking for a particular method or particular approach to the craft that you want to focus on. And we may not offer that. That's cool. From an acting perspective, I would always say, in a networking environment, always offer to give something before you ask to get something, right? Because I think networking becomes transactional, right? Because I need a publicist and I want to know what you can do for me. But, okay, right? And so when you are in these kinds of environments and you have an opportunity, I don't think there's anything ever wrong with asking. But I think you have to have a level of awareness about how you understand the business. And we teach a lot of craft, but a lot of people don't teach people the business of show. So you have to inevitably understand what an agent does, what a casting director does, what a publicist does, right? You have to understand what an acting coach job is. If you're coming to an acting studio, you have to have willingness to learn. You have to have a readiness to learn. And you have to have an open mind to discover new things. Those are the things that I require from my studio. If you don't have that, we are not the place for you. I absolutely invite people to leave my studio. I absolutely, happily invite people to leave. Because if you are coming to my studio to get atta-girls and atta-boys, to be told you're wonderful and great because somebody yes-anded or supported some really bad work or really bad habits, I am not the place for you. I am not the acting coach, I am not the studio. We're not the studio because we're gonna tell you, no, that's really, really bad, but here's an opportunity to grow. If that's not what you want, you can't be here, and it's cool. It's cool, because there's a ton of other studios, right? So those are the things that I require, and I think of any actor, because I also sit under people. I'm also in training, and those are the things that I require of myself. Yes.
So as a talent agent, we are always looking for good talent. But I'm with Align Stars Talent Agency here in Atlanta.
Hi, agent.
But we also are looking for people that are totally going to work hard at it, and we do ask for referrals from acting coaches or casting directors or our other talent, because we do get a lot of submissions. And you do have to have some sort of a resume, and you can't just, I'm going to do this tomorrow and I want an agent. Because we do, we partner with our talent. I mean, we're partners in this, just like your PR is, your acting coach, everybody is that's on your team. But we are always looking. I have different levels of talent. I have new people that are newer at the business, and then I have people that have extremely long resumes, because I feel like there's always those kind of projects, and when like Leslie's casting, I want to be able to submit to her for whatever the project might be.
I love Align Stars, by the way. Thank you very much.
I just think you do have to seize the moment. So use your discernment when you approach people, because if you see that someone is bogged down, just take a step back and give them room. But use your discernment and walk up to someone, because you really have to receive every moment. It's a gift. It is really a gift, because in that present moment, you may not get the opportunity again. And people are very open sometimes to email. And I know that email can become a lot. But if you do that, then at least you can show them what you're working on and have some way to say, look, I just, did new headshots. What do you think about them? And they're sometimes really open to respond. Believe me, most people don't follow up. They say they're gonna do something and they don't do it. So I'll give people my email, and I'll see them somewhere else and they still didn't say what they said. So my point is, just go ahead and seize the moment and do it softly, I say, because that aggressive approach, when people are bogged down with a lot, they're gonna remember your presence. And that's really like the number one thing in this business is your presence. How do you approach someone? How do you speak to them? You have to be really concise and specific. People don't have a lot of time to take in a lot. So you want to be concise, specific, ask for the email, and seize the moment.
I'm going to tell you all a quick story, true story, that literally just happened 30 minutes ago in this hallway. I was standing outside and I was talking to Belle. We were talking about how I was going to set up my stuff in the back. This young lady walked up and she was like, "Oh my God, I know you." And I was like, "You know me? Where you know me from, girl?" And she was like, "I'm promoting you. I'm promoting you, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So for anybody who doesn't know, that's my Instagram handle, is I'm promoting you.
Oh, that's where we met. Fight night stuff.
Yes! Yes!
New York, red carpet.
Yes!
Okay.
Yeah. I did!
That's what, okay.
So she was like, "I'm promoting you," and I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I hired you on Fiverr." Now, mind you, I've been doing PR for 20 years. My agency, I do PR. However, I know that there are individuals who aren't ready for a full-time publicist. They aren't, so I have a platform on Fiverr where people can do one-off situations. And she was like, I hired you on Fiverr to do a press release for me. And she was like, that press release was so good. She was like, I was nominated for an Emmy with one of my projects. And real talk, like these are the things, so for me to answer that question, like I am very approachable. I am approachable for a number of reasons. I'm always smiling, 1. I never meet a stranger, 2. And 3, my hair is purple. And so, and so literally, if somebody does not know my name or who I am, they know my hair. And they'd be like, you the publicist with the purple hair. Like, I know I met you, or I see you online. And so, please say hi to me. And then for everybody in the room, I have some flyers in the back. I have a PR audit that I'm doing. You know, scan the QR code. And this, again, for people who maybe you're not ready to pay a retainer every month, but you want to audit your PR, you want to audit your platform, you want to audit who you are, use that. Because you have to invest in yourself. And we want a lot of it right now. We want a lot of it for free. We want a lot of it for a discount. We want it, but we don't always want to invest in it. We don't always want to pay for it, or we want somebody to give it to us. And that's just not in entertainment, that is in life. In life, you want it right now. We live in such a microwave society that everybody wants it right now. Like, I want to be famous. I want to be a millionaire. I want to have 1 million followers. I want it. But what are you going to do to work for it? How are you going to get there? What are you going to do? My girl said, hire me. Come on, y'all, hire me. But yeah, so that's my answer. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's hard to follow this. Here's the thing. I'm human. I'm a person. I have a family. I have friends. And I have a career. Right? My career is separate from who I am as a person. That's just the job I do like everybody else. So when you approach somebody who has a job or a career like myself, or these people that kind of put us in the front, remember when you come to us, have grace and remember that we're human, right? And so like Angela said, before you think about what you're gonna ask me to do for you or how you're gonna ask me to help you, think in your head, well, what can I help her with, right? And even if that's you saying, hey, you know, I want to be on set. I have a great eye for clothes. I want to be able to help you on a set. Do you know somebody that could? Because I would like to be able to, you know, share my services. We're humans. This is just a job for us. You got to remember that. So be graceful when you approach us. And like she said, read the room basically. Because us pouring out, if you're spiritual and you understand spirituality, that can be taxing.
They finished to come on in the room.
Yes, we did. We sang together, like we did a kumbaya.
We did. My church was in the room.
Yeah, so just be mindful of that. I'm approachable as well, but don't send me an email. Don't. Please don't. And here's why. Because people say, oh, I want to send you my headshot, my resume. And that's great. I would love to see it. However, if I'm casting a movie, I'm going back and forth on emails with the agents of every person, or their manager, or sometimes both, right? And then I have the network, my producer, and my directors. So by the time, if you send me your headshot and resume, I will not see it. And by the time my assistant goes back, it's like, I'm on hope prayerfully on 2 movies later, right? So on my website, it is free. You could just go to the website. It's rtsekastingcompany.com. There is an actors tab where you can just sign up. You can upload your headshot, a link. You can have, if you have an agent or manager, you can put all their information in. And if you don't have an agent or manager, that is fine as well. Because guess what? Everything will be in one spot. So when I'm looking, I know where I'm going to look. So it won't get lost in emails. It's in one place, right? So put as much information, so when I have to shift, if I'm looking for a mail in Atlanta or I'm looking for a mail in Philadelphia or New York, it populates, right? Put as much information in it as possible. I do, now here's the thing about this Instagram. I will look at your stuff and I may not follow you, and here's why. I don't want to see this all day. I don't want to see 2,000 pictures of you. Yeah, that too. I don't want to see that. Now, it's a difference when you engage on social platforms. Now you struck up a dialogue. Now I'm looking at you differently. You can follow us all day. That's cool, you know. I don't even look at Instagram like that. I just post and keep it moving, unless I'm engaging someone or they're engaging me. Remember, we're human, and this is what we chose as careers. We love it. All of us love what we do. You can tell we're passionate about it, but just remember that when you approach us, have some grace, and when you connect like we your cousins, friends, sisters, aunties, you know what I mean? Thank you.
And can I say too, on social media, be mindful of your presence, because those of you who want to work in the Disney world, and you turned around and bent over, And I can tell you that while Disney and Marvel does not care about your number of followers, because they don't, they're never going to ask you. High-level productions don't care about your follower count. Let me just say that. Mid-level and low-level independent productions care, because you become an extension of their marketing arm for their project. So they care about your followers. Disney doesn't care. Marvel doesn't care.
I don't care.
ABC, Hulu, Apple, they don't care. They don't care. They have hundreds of millions of dollars dedicated to marketing. So the whole thing about, oh, they're looking at follower count, that is for mid to low level independent projects. They need it because you become an extension of them. Major, high level SAG productions don't care. What they do care about, however, is your image.
Say it.
And I am telling you, having worked on several things in the Marvel and in the Disney world, what you have on your social media matters. I was on a show, Cloak and Dagger, for 2 seasons, and one of the leads on the show, because they were young, you know, superheroes, so they catered to a younger demographic. She was over 21 in her adult life, and she went out on a couple of weeks that she was out. She went back to LA, and she was out celebrating her birthday, and she had a drink, and she posted it on social media, and somebody tapped her on the shoulder from Marvel, and they were like, hey, take it down. Because your fan base are young teens and children. And so while we understand that you are an adult, she didn't do anything wrong, she didn't do anything illegal, it wasn't salacious, she was just out celebrating her birthday. At the time, she was on a show. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Yeah. She's on a show that is targeted to a younger demographic. So what she did, even outside of the show, mattered. Now, that was also important because she was one of the leads on the show, was a whole bunch of other things. But I just want you to be mindful when we talk about what it is that you want to do in this industry. What does, I'm gonna go back to the PR end of it, what does your image say about you? If somebody were to get to know you simply off of your social media posts, what would they know? What are you communicating? Yeah. What does it say?
Girl.
And so I just want you to be mindful of those things. Barbara, sorry.
Wait.
She booked a series regular on a Friday. It's a huge show. And she had a birthday over the weekend, and Monday morning they unbooked her. Because she had turned 21. She was playing a 16-year-old, and it was over.
I would like to Yes, that. So while you saying, listen, people, Angela, like, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you, both of y'all, because here's the thing. We look on social media because when I'm doing a Lifetime movie or when I'm doing a Disney movie or when I'm doing something that you are connecting to their brand, baby, them busted videos, even if your stuff is private, they will see it. So what I'm looking for is, can I attach you to this? But let me flip the script real quick for you. All of these people out here, I keep getting typecast. They keep making me the hoe on the stroll. I'm keeping it funky, right? Y'all want the gems, y'all want the jewels, y'all want the real talk. Oh, I'm always the thug. Well, guess what? They looked at your Instagram and they saw that you was comfortable being half naked in front of everybody. And I'm from Philly and I don't talk everybody, but that was to prove a point. They know that you're comfortable being the thug because you dressing like it and you talking like it and you looking like it and you acting like it. So ladies, watch what you put in social media. Yeah, you might be cute and you might have, all the little body parts that's popping. If you want to act and you want to be taken serious, be mindful what you put out there. Because let me tell you, I will go to your Instagram and be like, oh, she comfortable with being naked. And even though I don't like it because I have nieces, I'm gonna be comfortable with it because you are. So be mindful of what you're portraying on these social platforms.
I want clap. Oh.
Thank you for solidifying her job as my publicist.
So I know we want to open it up to questions. I just want to say, before we answer questions, I have homework for each and every one of you in here. I need you to meet someone. I need you, whether it be in this room, outside, I need you to meet, I'm gonna give you someone, but I would love for you to meet 5 people that you did not know before you came here this weekend. I want you to know who they are, what they do, if you connect on social media, because like Dominique said, people are not serious about their business. Because you meet people and then you forget them before you even walk away. There's no follow-up, there's no follow-through, there's no connection, there's no collaboration. Like, why are you here if not to collaborate, if not to build, if not to be in community with each other? Like, you came here for a reason. Whatever that reason was, you were looking for something, and whether it's said or not, that something may be in a conversation with somebody that you don't know. And I'll tell you something that I learned very, very early in my career. Like I said, I've been doing PR for 20 years. And what we do as people, we sometimes gravitate to the loudest person in the room, when the person you should be looking at is the one that ain't saying nothing. Before, when I first got into this, I go to the BET Awards or whatever, and I see the person with their chains and everything else, and I be like, ooh, I need to talk to them. That's who I need to talk to. And that's the person that ain't got no authority over nothing. No money, no nothing. It's the person that if you in a room with an artist, and there are 10 people in there, and you see 8 people talking and 2 people not doing anything, those are the 2 people you need to target. Because those are the people who are the decision makers. So I just want you to make sure that you meet, again, I'm gonna give you one, you get a pass. But honestly, I'm gonna take my pass back, because if you wanna be in entertainment, how you shy? If you wanna be in this industry, how you don't wanna talk to nobody? How you can't approach somebody? So I'm taking my one pass back. No, you need to meet 5 people. Like I said, and you need to connect and you need to follow up.
Hard stop at 2:30, but I do know you wanted to ask a question.
I
Eva, and I'm an aspiring filmmaker. Well, actually, I made a film, so I made a film. Yesterday, and I'm very happy about that. But my question for you guys, and I love what you said, because we can communicate all we want to, right? But if there's no connection, how are you going to bridge the two worlds? You're here because there's something you're trying to get to over here. But if we can't connect, we're just talking, we're just hearing stuff, but we're not connecting. And so we got to take ourselves out of it and allow the process to naturally happen so that we can get what we need. But that's not what I wanted to ask. So my question is, because this is just coming in, there's agents, there's managers, there's PR. Which one, when you talk about PR, is specifically kind of for you?
Okay. Yes,
But
ma'am.
I'm not connected. But for you, when people say you need a manager or you need an agent, how is it that you understand which one do you actually need when you're on your assignment, and how do
Great
you
question.
go about getting that person or finding that person who is going to step out and be your voice for you? How is PR different than manager? How is manager different from agent? I really am lost. I don't understand that point.
Yeah, so very simple. Your manager eats what they kill. So like you have a manager and your manager makes money based on the money that they make you. A publicist, we get paid every month regardless. Like we are not here to make you money. The job of a publicist is not to make you money. Yeah, you might get money because of the opportunities, because of the exposure, because of where we place you. But our job is not to generate income. Our job is to tell your story. Publicists are storytellers. We are the ones that make your story compelling and engaging enough that people want to learn more about who you are. Your manager is booking you, managers, booking agents, talent agents, they're the ones that are looking for income for you. And they don't get, well, I mean, in this newfangled society, some managers are getting paid. They get, usually, you know, back in the day, managers were strictly percentage based. Like they would get a percentage, but I know they still should be. They still should be, but I know that's why I'm like, and yeah, that's it. But I know, I get it. I get it because people want money, and it's like, did y'all see that movie Janky Promoters? Yeah. Okay, so that's what, when you have a manager that is asking you for money, that's a janky manager. And I mean, they might be your friend, they might be whoever, but managers should not be getting paid if not bringing in income. That's what, I mean, strictly a manager should be working on a percentage basis. Your publicist is working on a retainer. So that's the major difference.
I'd also like to say too, and Barbara can further go in because she is an agent. From an acting perspective, because I have an agent and I have a manager, okay? My agent's job is to provide opportunities and spaces that, and to speak for me in rooms I would not have access to be my voice into rooms and opportunities I would not be able to get on my own. That is what my agent does for me. And they are very specific in that they cover the Southeast. Now, because I want to expand and grow into other markets, Toronto, London, New York, LA, New Mexico, Texas, right? I have a manager whose job is to procure opportunities outside of the Southeast market, right? So if I want to work on The Pitt or Grey's Anatomy, right, or Abbott Elementary, my manager's job is to have connection to casting directors who will give me opportunity to audition. If I book, my agents in Atlanta have to negotiate the deal. Managers cannot negotiate contracts unless they're attorneys, okay? So a manager cannot negotiate your deal. They can procure an opportunity by the nature of their relationship with the casting director, but they still have to go through your agent. So because I do not have an agent out of LA, my AMT, who is my agent here, they are copied in on the email. So my manager includes AMT. So if I just had an audition for a big opportunity in LA, just had it this week. If I book it, then AMT has to negotiate the deal because my manager is not an attorney. So I either have to use an entertainment attorney or I have to go through my agent. Does that make sense? So, and my manager's job is to also procure other opportunities. So he could say, hey, Angela, I got you an invite to this premiere. Hey, I got you a seat at New York Fashion Week. hey, I got you an opportunity to be on this talk show. So the manager job then becomes exponentially bigger, and that they can also procure opportunities to get me into other arenas outside of just acting opportunities. Agents do not do that. That is not their job. And then managers tend to work in tandem with publicists to make sure that those opportunities can grow. Does that make sense? So they do some of the same things, but they're not the same in terms of their accountability and in terms of the work that they do. My manager does much more for the bigger, broader spectrum of my career than AMT does on a day-to-day. Does that make sense? They get me invited to award show. Those are the things that he does. Yes, he gets me opportunities to audition, but if I book, he cannot negotiate the deal.
Your publicist get you at award shows too.
Yes, for sure. But you guys understand what I'm saying? And Barbara, I'll let you kind of further communicate, because people want agents and managers, and we don't always understand what they do. That's a great question.
Well, and the reason agents do it because we are bonded.
Yes.
So, and managers are not. So that's why an agent is going to do the deal for you guys. Okay, so we
legally
held to a different standard.
And let me say this, if you are well, you don't have to be in Georgia, but if you are an actor and you are looking for an agent, SAG has a list of vetted agencies that you can start when you are ready to go that route. That's one place, one resource for you, because like she said, they are bonded. So there is a level of expectation and skill sets and all of the things that are aligned with them and SAG, all right? So it's okay for somebody to be like, girl, you know I'm an agent? Yeah, that's cute. Are you SAG? Are you a SAG registered agent? So yeah.
Or part of ATA, which
Correct.
is
Yeah,
Association
definitely.
of Talent Agents.
So just be mindful. There are ways to check people.
And go ahead. And I was going to say, and they also need to have relationships. This is again why your team matters. Because if an agent, you assign to an agent who doesn't have a relationship with casting, you're still not going to get any auditions. There are levels to this, people. I mean, we're going to have a real conversation about what really happens. There are levels to this. There are levels to this. There are levels to this. Because Atlanta has been inundated with a lot of managers, and I know Barbara knows. We've been inundated with a lot of managers in Atlanta. If you're a manager doesn't have relationships, it does nothing for you.
And that's in her master class.
It does nothing for you. Your agents